Hi, everybody. It's Tom with Culture Chap. Thanks for coming back. So, today I want to talk about people you forget about casting. So, usually I think it's older people. Now, what is older to you? I don't know. But older middle age to older age, whatever that means to you. And it depends on the show you're doing, but if you have to have a cast of characters that is varied, why are you not having the grandparents, the great grandparents on the stage too? Now, sometimes there's a real obvious problem is that the people that are the great grandparents age, like over 90, are forgetting their lines. And that's a huge problem. The funny thing is that people forget their lines at that age, but they don't seem to forget their blocking. I mean, unless things are really bad. So, what if you're doing a classical piece, say Shakespeare or any other classical piece, and you need a crowd of people, but your casting person, or you as the director or artistic director, you tend to have cast all the same kind of people. You know, maybe there's some dance scenes, but not everybody has to dance. Not everyone has to do the same thing. There should be varied ages, varied colored, varied races in your shows, depending on your show. The various ages really help. It helps sell your theater as a more rounded place. So perhaps there's a village scene or a city scene or just a family scene, and you cast someone older, like a grandma character, and she has gathered the children or the teenagers or the young adults into a little circle, and there's no lines. There's actually nothing in the script that tells you to do this, but you want a well rounded thing. Maybe he's trying to establish community or family or city life, and the city life is more of a community. You want some warmth. So you have the older person, maybe it's an older woman, and she's doing the grandmother thing where she's in charge and she's, mouthing things to the children or the young adults or the young couple. There may be no reason for this in your script other than you want to project warmth and this kind of community. Maybe you want to do something else. I don't like the older person as a sexual neuter. Do you know what I mean? The old crone. She's got nothing to do but like stoop and scratch herself and look crazy. Well, it's just been done to death. This is happening in October, autumn, and Maggie Smith has just died. And I keep thinking about how much she did as an older actress. Now, it's Maggie Smith. She had a lot of pivotal parts, and you never just stuck her in something because she was older and she was interesting. So we're talking about characters that may not have lines that are older. But the fact that she was there at all makes a difference. The fact that she was that age makes a difference. She acted up until her late 80s. She died at 89. Why aren't other people doing this on the stage? We should be. So, say that you have a piece and you have older actors, they don't have any lines, or you chopped up the lines a little bit to have them take part of a line from someone's speech, or just sit there and be like, like agreeing, or having reactions to like, oh, well, there is an argument on stage, It just cements everything and it gives everybody more rounded feel like, the old wise person. But maybe they're old silly people. Maybe they're not sexual neuters. They actually have an interest in other people, in dating. And that is this little subplot that is interesting. You don't have to do a lot with it. It doesn't have to be this massive subplot. But maybe there's a city scene and if it was Romeo and Juliet, it would be interesting to have the older people from each side kind of softened in old age. Maybe a Capulet child trips in front of the bakery, and the Montague elder statesman, the grandfather, is a baker and gives her something, and the grandmother comes over and they meet and they have sort of a softening of that feud. That's interesting. Or maybe you're doing other kinds of plays where you just need the crowds to be interesting. Well, what if there's an older female and she has a look and she sees the older male and he sees her and they have kind of a little moment. And each time they come on, there's something different. She's pushed by her granddaughters to go over and talk to him. He's pushed by his grandsons to go talk to her. That's interesting. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's interesting. And it makes you look better as a director, better as a theater, because you're showing variety. And maybe there's a little dating thing, the whole thing. He brings her, again, maybe he's a baker. He brings her a little piece of cake. Lovely. She brings him, because maybe he's a grower, she brings him a little plant in a little pot. That's interesting. And maybe it doesn't really go anywhere. Maybe they only meet each other for 4 scenes. But you've established that in this community, different things are happening. Different ages are happening. And there can be some comedic stuff in there to balance out some of the other serious stuff happening in your play. Or bring up the comedy. There's this sweet thing happening. People will love it, I guarantee. Everybody likes the cool grandparents. Everyone likes the feisty grandparents. It sells. It sells well. And isn't it amazing when you do the right thing to balance out your shows, that people start to notice and they start to come back and you look better because you're doing the right thing. You're selling the right ideas, the ideas that they're familiar with, that they love, showing the kind of age ranges that they're familiar with in their own lives. It also is a wonderful thing if most of us who have lost our grandparents have a little kind of thing at this little romance on stage that has no words, that has no anything. It's just this little thing. And you wonder after the show's done, what happened to them? A little intrigue that has to do with the plot. All successful shows have different levels of plot, the A, B, C plot, and I'm talking about a D, E, F plot. These other little things that are happening on the stage that make it interesting. So they're always paying attention. They're paying attention to the main action, and they're paying attention to this other action, the subliminal action, the subplots. The subplots that aren't even written into your play that you've put in to make things interesting and to give older actors a job, a good job. And those older actors, I guarantee they have great resumes. Once you put their headshot in the program and list all the things they've done through all the years, and maybe they do some of your epilogues, that's your talkbacks. Maybe they do something else. It makes you much more popular. People think I like this company. We want to like your company. We want to see you do amazing things. We want to keep having you do amazing shows and keep people coming back because they've seen something interesting, something they didn't expect. Again, a lot of you will be mad at me because I'm suggesting something that's not in your script. Put it in your script. There's so many things that you see in plays that aren't in the script, that someone created to give a atmosphere, to give a feeling of your play. All right. Please like and subscribe, share with a friend, and help me grow my channel. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Bye.